considering the circumstances, the opponent, the place, are you feeling any more pressure on Wednesday than maybe in past matches?
No, it's just, you try and be as even keel as possible, come out, away from home is always a little more difficult because you don't have our fans there for us, but, or not as many, but no, we, come out, play our game, work hard, and go for the result.
A lot of the supporters are expressing frustration with the team on social media. Do the players feel like you're playing for the coaching staff's tenures right now?
As players, we kind of just, always you always go out there and give it your all, and your careers, can be long, they can be short, so you're always just playing, mostly for yourself and your teammates, and that always includes the staff. And so you just, you go out there and you play to the best of your ability on any given night.
Josh, have you guys started the film process up with Inter Miami? And we've talked about you in the preseason. You faced Messi before in a Champions League match and all that. But what's different? Like, what's this game looking like so far, tactically?
So yeah, we've started the film process just like any other game. You start a couple days before. You go through your normal routines, and it's something where, yes, you want to take note of some of the special players they have, some of the special talent they have, and the way they play, but also keep in mind that you want to go play the way you want to play and control the game in your own way.
What have you seen? Like, you have an interesting perspective, having being a backup keeper, seeing everything unfold on game day. What needs to change to end this 9-game winless streak, do you think?
I think for us, it's got to come from within the locker room, from the players, in the sense of, just having a little bit of that mentality of, okay, we got to give a little bit extra. We just fight for the guy on your left, on your right, and I think we started to see a little bit of that, after we went down a man. And so I know it's within us, and I know we have the capability. I see it out here every day, and it's just little details coming together, things falling in the right place.
Because morale looks good, Again, you're sort of echoing that the team is together. Things seem to change on match day. And again, the opponents are good too. Like, let's give them credit. How much pressure is there going into this match? I know we talked to you about pressure too. Like, it's different here than it is in Europe, but now this club is in a bad spot. So, like, what changes on Wednesday in terms of like managing that pressure?
Yeah, there's always pressure, definitely now a little bit more than other times. In terms of managing the pressure, everyone has their own little routine for how they deal with it, and I think it starts with just having a little bit of confidence, giving each other confidence, and then knowing, like, okay, I'm going to go out there and do my job and trust that everyone else is going to do their job, and then that's the baseline, and then you try and give, a little bit extra working upwards from there, and those little pieces, come together.
Is that also true when the team is struggling to score? Is it more pressure on the defense? We have to be perfect. We have to shut them out.
There's, in this league, there's a lot of close games, and so I think there's always that pressure that a game is most likely going to be decided by one goal, and so every moment in the defensive third is a little bit do or die. You gotta stop the attack, and so yes, there is extra pressure, especially playing against an opponent that has a lot of offensive firepower.
And considering, the team has signed a lot of guys from Europe who are familiar with the pressures of promotion, relegation, and all that, that there hasn't been more fight during this winless streak.
So I think that there has been fight, but we've been kind of keeping it, more internal in the locker room, inside, and figuring out ways where we can push ourselves first, and then each other, without having that turnover into something that's negative. Keeping a positive energy, but having that fight, that drive, that internal fire that really, I'm going to be pissed off about anything less than my best.
Okay. You're a starting caliber goalkeeper in this league and other leagues around the world. What does this opportunity mean for you in such an important game, and obviously the optics around this match?
For me, it's a great opportunity to just go out there, play to the best of my ability, and hopefully show what I can do.
What's the conversation like with Brad, just getting prepared to start your first start in MLS?
It's been very helpful. He's played against Inter Miami a few times now, and so he kind of knows them, and just like advice about look out for this, look out for that. Him giving me kind of the help he can provide from his experience against them.
How much does it help you that you're in good form after Open Cup and a couple games with twos? How much confidence does that give you going into tomorrow?
It's really helpful. It's always tough if you're going in completely cold, and luckily I've had a few chances to go out, get a few 90 minutes, 120, and then kind of get my legs under me, because there are things you can't replicate in training, and so that's quite valuable.
You have a player like Steon and Derek being back with the team in that back line. How important are they to the defense as a whole for you guys?
I think they're quite important. I think they provide a little bit of that extra confidence and assurance from in the back, and so it's really nice to have them back and healthy.
Is it a fun challenge or a dreadful experience facing a messy free kick?
A little bit of both. There's always that little bit of nerves with it, but also there's something to be said for facing the best in the world.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a fun experience, but yeah, a little bit nervy.
Because you can't. I mean, Thiago's a fantastic free kick kicker. So is Salva and Bartek, for what we've seen. But you can't replicate it.
No, you can't, and it's something where you just try and don't think about the bigger picture. You just think about the details and the moment.
Josh, I've got a last one. Just throughout this season, the sort of the turmoil, if you will, the injuries as well. Has the message from the coaching staff stayed the same? I asked Brooks recently. He said it does, but these coaches are trying to figure things out. They've had to get creative with lineups. They've had to play young players. Does that affect what the messaging is like game to game?
Not really game to game. The messaging has stayed pretty consistent, and a lot of that messaging when we do have, injuries, when we have to replace players, has been really that, lift each other up, like support each other, and help this guy who doesn't have the amount of experience, who might be a little bit nervous about it, might be coming in, to a new environment, help him to do his best and be positive about it. And then, also now the messaging is a little bit, we gotta have that fight, that drive inside in every moment, every challenge.
Simplification, last one. That was something Gonzalo actually mentioned, like trying to simplify things. Do you think that was necessary, and why? How did he execute that sort of change, I guess?
Yeah. So when things maybe aren't going at their best, it's best to get back to what you're good at, and that's the simplicity. That's finding the easy pass, finding the open man, having that structure, and then you work upwards from there. You build that foundation, then you work. And I think that we've seen that in a few moments where it's really come out, where we're like, okay, we're not trying to do anything too fancy. We're sticking to what we know. We're playing the simple passes, and when we do that, then it looks great, and then we find a little creativity on top of that. And so hopefully we can just have that confidence, slowly build it day by day, and you'll see a little bit more of that creativity on the end too.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.